Jamar Chase. He's coming off one of the best weeks we'll ever see. Well over 200 yards receiving. It's the Bengals and the Ravens under the lights on Sunday night.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
First quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Here come the Ravens, and that means here comes Lamar Jackson, league's MVP and an All-Pro in 2019.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They're going to look to throw. The ball popped in the air Intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
Cincinnati's offense takes the field and leading the way for the reigning AFC champs is last season's comeback player of the year, a man who needs no introduction, Joe Burrow.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
First down. Here's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
First down there for T. Higgins. Don't let it be lost in Jamar Chase's phenomenal season. The Higgins had a big year for Cincinnati as well. Topped the 1,000-yard plateau for the first time, and he did it despite missing a few games with injuries. The third-year man could give Cincy a pair of Pro Bowlers into position here in 2022.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here on target to Hurst. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Mixing up the middle. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Now Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, Jackson will keep it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. They begin with a run by Mixon. And they'll get this just to the 47, one-yard gain. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And not able to break away this time, as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Stopped by the safety, Kyle Hamilton. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
To try again after the sack. Burrow. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamar Chase, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm, and right now they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. The drive will start with an option going left. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Across the line and to the ball quickly there, Trey Hendrickson.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 17-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Bengals will get the football back. Cincinnati set to take over once again. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game, you know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first. The Bengals at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? the nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On one, ready?
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Burrow will throw. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort turned it into a successful play.
Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion. Point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
Yeah.
you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now it's Jackson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. When you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Jackson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Bengals grab it. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, A lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The LSU connection, Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here we go.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Here we go.
Now it's Burrow. Touchdown! Hayden Hurst with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McPherson on for the point after. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around.
Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Mixon will get it to start the second half. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 84 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now Burrow on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage. Able to knock that one away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, they have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half.
Here we go.
Just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's the tight end, Hurst, with him. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. It goes as a gain of 8 and it moves the chains. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called.
Here we go.
They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Second down and 3. Ball on the 7. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
He's got a man, complete. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 44 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 33 yards. And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead's down to 24. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 116 yards rushing here from Mixon. He's got a 1st down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Burrow. That's complete to the tight end sample. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here's a give to Mixon. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Here we go. Here we
2
go.
first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Burrow.
And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort.
On one, right?
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
From just shy of midfield, Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Here we go.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Stop.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Holding. Offense.
That's on the guard, Alex Kappa.
Here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Yeah, still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 32 yards.
And the Ravens take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Burrow. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. Here's Kevin Huber now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Ravens, they'll take over.
The Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson now. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
141 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go.
Again, it's Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this will stay a 2-score game at 16. Now, this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. The quick feet by Jackson.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
To throw is Jackson. Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Go.
Here's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Throwing, Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And out now, here come the Bengals. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Ready?
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Now Burrow down around his goal line. Short throw underneath to Hurst. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 16, 40 seconds to go. It's a tall order, but they do begin with decent field position on 1st down. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. Jackson to throw.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Cincinnati, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year.
Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning.